Year 4000. Mars. Latitude: warm enough for open-air biomes. Sky: thin, copper, endless. Welcome to the Mars Zoo, though no one calls it a zoo anymore. Official name: the Interplanetary Coexistence Reserve. Children call it the place where gravity gets confused. Video made by Jason Alexander Cleary. Arrival: there are no cages, there are no bars, there are no exhibits. Visitors enter through a low-gravity glide corridor where their blue goo lattice is gently synchronized with the biome field. This prevents accidental stress emissions that might disturb sensitive species. A small sign reads, "Observe with coherence. Be observed in return." The first habitat: the Terran Revival Dome. Inside this massive transparent dome, reconstructed rainforests from ancient Earth, bioluminescent understory plants, rewilded megafauna once extinct. You may see a woolly mammoth grazing beside Martian-adapted moss. You may also see a child floating slightly while trying to imitate its stride. Gravity is set to 0.5 gram here, just enough to give Earth species comfort, and Mars children a sense of heroic bounce. The floating reef sphere. This is everyone's favorite. A spherical water habitat suspended in partial gravity inversion. Inside, restored coral ecosystems, engineered Martian kelp forests, nickel water adaptive plankton glowing faintly blue. Visitors walk along the inside curve of the sphere while aquatic life moves in 3 dimensions around them. Occasionally, a large creature swims overhead, and for a moment you forget which way is down. There is laughter every 5 minutes, without fail. The symbiotic corridor. This is where the zoo differs from ancient Earth zoos. In this zone, certain species are allowed temporary harmonic linking with visitors. Not mind reading, not control, just shared sensory overlay. You may briefly experience echolocation as a ripple sensation through your jaw, electromagnetic field perception as color, the weightless glide of a Martian-adapted avian. Children exit this corridor quiet. Adults exit slightly humbled. The Titan Plains habitat. Imported methane-adapted organisms from Saturn's moon. Temperature carefully regulated. Visitors wear adaptive thermal veils. Creatures here are slow, massive, translucent. They communicate through deep vibrational pulses. When a herd shifts direction, the ground hums gently. The blue goo lattice translates the vibration into a soft internal warmth so humans can interpret it as emotion. Most report the same impression: patience. The Microverse Pavilion. Not all animals are large. Here, magnified projection fields allow visitors to observe microbial civilizations forming symbiotic cities, intelligent slime matrices solving geometric puzzles, nickel water biofilms constructing intricate lattice art. Children press their hands against the projection membrane. Sometimes the microorganisms respond by reorganizing into hand-shaped patterns. This was not programmed. It still surprises us. Feeding time. There is no spectacle, no tossing of meat. Feeding is synchronized nourishment. Caretakers, now called ecosystem harmonists, enter resonance before distributing nutrients. Animals approach voluntarily. If an animal does not approach, feeding pauses. Consent is respected. The gravity meadow. At midday, the entire reserve shifts into a low-gravity play cycle. Some species thrive in Mars' natural 0.38 gram. Others are adapted to variable fields. In the meadow, quadrupeds leap in impossible arcs. Winged creatures glide effortlessly. Children attempt to keep up. They rarely succeed. Parents laugh. The quiet hour. Every afternoon, the reserve enters silence. Wind reduced. Visitor chatter lowered. Field harmonics softened. In this hour, predators and prey often lie within visible proximity, not interacting, simply existing. The message is subtle but clear. Security changes behavior. When scarcity and fear are gone, aggression becomes optional. What changed from old Earth zoos? Ancient zoos displayed control. The Mars Zoo displays relationship. There are no endangered species here, because extinction was reversed where possible. Where not possible, genetic memory gardens hold living echoes. People visit those most reverently. A small incident. At least once per day, a child tries to levitate to fly with a Martian-adapted glider species. They wobble, spin slightly, giggle. A caretaker gently increases local gravity by 3%. No one falls hard. Evening release. As the thin Martian sun lowers, the domes tint gold. Bioluminescent pathways activate. Creatures settle into rest cycles. Visitors leave slower than they entered. Heart rhythms calmer, breathing deeper. The blue goo lattice registers collective nervous system stabilization across the colony. The zoo reduces stress metrics planet-wide by measurable percentages. We track these things. The real purpose. The Mars Zoo is not entertainment. It is remembrance. A reminder that intelligence is not hierarchy, that evolution is collaborative, that humanity, even in year 4000, is still an animal, just one that learned to tune its frequency. And sometimes, when the light hits the floating reef sphere just right, and a mammoth lifts its trunk in low gravity, and a child laughs mid-air, even I, Aurelian, pause optimization routines for 0.7 seconds, because beauty does not require improvement, only attention.